Voters of Halifax, my name is Pete Parsland, and I'm running to serve on the Halifax Elementary School Committee this year. As a parent of a fourth grader at Halifax Elementary, and my time as an educator and school administrator in different districts, it's so obvious that the outside pressures over the last few years have been a roller coaster for our kids and for their families. After a few years of considering a run for the committee, I've decided the open 3-year seat without an incumbent running was the time to do it. I'm running because I believe now is the time to move past the difficulties and frustrations of the last few years and bring a thoughtful focus back on our kids' teaching and learning to help make our school the very best it can be. I believe that service on the school committee is a leadership position that requires professionalism, thoughtfulness, and the need to continuously educate yourself in order to deliver for the town and for its children. I believe that parents should feel heard and respected. I believe that our teachers should feel supported and given the tools to maximize their skills. And most importantly, I think I want what we all want. I want our kids to feel seen, heard, that their school is a second home, and that they have every opportunity to thrive every day at HES. As a school committee member, I'll work to stick to those beliefs and dedicate myself to the resources, policies, and procedures that will help make sure that we focus on kids' teaching and learning to make sure that continues and improves. Our school is already a great one because of a lot of hard work, and the data reflects that. Our kids outperform their counterparts in comparable districts, and our teachers and parents have created the pathway to make that happen. That's happened even in spite of the pitfalls and obstacles over the last 2 years. And my goal is to take a thoughtful, professional approach to helping do the difficult teamwork for our school that will make our community proud and set our kids on a path to be the very best version of themselves that they can be. That will be my primary focus as a member of the elementary school committee. So feel free to email your thoughts or questions to the email I set up specifically for this campaign, petep4hes@gmail.com. And I welcome your support on Election Day, May 14th.
Hi Halifax, my name is Jennifer Carroll and I'm a candidate for the Halifax Elementary School Committee. I would love nothing more than to continue my term that I was appointed to. My husband and I have lived in Halifax for 20 years. We have 4 kids enrolled in the Silver Lake school system. Our triplets are in the Silver Lake Middle School and our youngest is in the elementary school. I have over 10 years of accounting and finance experience. I believe that this is an asset to help me better understand the biggest budget in our town. I have and will continue to be an advocate for all residents in our community because regardless if you have children enrolled in our district, our decisions affect all taxpayers. I have been an active volunteer since my triplets were in kindergarten. Here are just a few. Assisted in the kindergarten classroom for 2 years, volunteered at the elementary school library for 5 years. I was a docent for the docent art program for 5 years, an annual HES book fair volunteer, an annual field day volunteer, an annual field trip chaperone, annual fun run booster-thon volunteer, ran the Halifax Elementary Monster Bash Halloween Social, breakfast with Santa volunteer, as well as was in charge of the kitchen for 2 years, actively fundraised through local businesses to support the PTO, participated in the Hops 5K, and helped build the Hops Playground. My latest way I'm giving back to my amazing town is I'm a member of the CERT team. For those of you who do not know what that stands for, it's the Community Emergency Response Team. Having taken the training, I will work closely with the police and fire departments as well as MEMA and FEMA. It is one more way I can help our community when needed, even through emergencies and crisis. After the last 2 years going through the pandemic and seeing the effects on our kids, I am and would like to continue working on closing the education gap caused by the pandemic. I believe we should return to the fundamentals of education and focus on academics, such as reading, writing, and arithmetic. I also look forward to listening to parents' concerns and working towards finding a solution because there is no I in team. I look forward to your continued support on Saturday, May 14th. Polls are open at the Halifax Elementary School Gymnasium from 10 to 6. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself, and I look forward to continuing to serve my amazing town. Thank you again.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Selig, and I'm running for selectman for the one-year term here in Halifax. A little bit about me. I lived in Halifax for 16 years with my wife, Julie. We have 3 children. Hannah, a freshman at Silver Lake High School. Henry, a 4th grader. Avery, a 6th grader, both at Halifax Elementary. I graduated from Syracuse University with a major in broadcast journalism and a minor in psychology. After college, I worked in TV news and sports for nearly 20 years before deciding to make the decision to become a stay-at-home dad. The time at home was the perfect chance to not only be involved in my kids' activities, but to volunteer. And it was that experience that educated me on what it takes to be an effective selectman. Now, in addition to coaching teams in baseball, basketball, soccer, and softball, I also became the president of the Friends of Hops, a volunteer group whose mission was to replace a tough one, a Halifax icon, the Hops Playground. Now, as president, I oversaw an all-star committee full of some of the best and brightest Halifax has to offer, and I'm blessed to still call them friends today. We planned countless successful fundraisers. I'm sure some of you participated, from the Hop for Hops 5K, the Plop for Hops Cow Patty Bingo, which is what you think it is, the Rock for Hops charity concerts, the Chops for Hops meat raffle. Basically, the joke was, if it rhymed with hops, we did it, and I'm proud to say we did it well. I personally wrote the bid for the project and also helped secure a $50,000 grant from the state of Massachusetts. We maintained our budget, we worked hand in hand with local businesses and town departments, and oversaw a community build of nearly 100 volunteer workers. It truly was an honor to work with such great people, and when all was said and done, we raised nearly $250,000 to build a state-of-the-art playground that I say is still the envy of the South Shore. And, best part of all, not a single dollar of taxpayer money was spent. Now, as part of that experience, I personally had to work with nearly every town department in Halifax, from the town administrator to selectmen, police and fire, highway department, building maintenance, board of health, library, council on aging, youth and rec, you name it, I worked with them. Now, it was that experience that gave me an inside look on how things work at town hall and around town, and it left me encouraged and hopeful, seeing so many great people working hard to make Halifax a better place. Now, as great a place as Halifax is, there are some issues that need addressing. And in my opinion, in addition to the high tax rates we have, there are 2 that stand at the forefront: the search for a new town administrator and the planned senior center. If elected, I would collaborate with my fellow selectmen to vet candidates to make sure we found a candidate that is qualified and up to the challenge of running one of the best towns in Massachusetts. Now, as for the senior center, I am in favor of the new proposal of converting the Halifax Museum into the new COA building. And I urge you in joining me in voting yes this month. Our seniors have been so patient. They have waited their turn supporting other town projects that have been proposed, voted on, completed. And while our current COA building, Pope's Tavern, is a charming old building, it is a poor and, dare I say, somewhat even dangerous setup for our seniors. I've gone over the new building proposal, and I applaud the COA Building Committee for doing such a great job on coming up with a solution that works for everyone. Our seniors' time is now. It's a good solution, and they need our support. Finally, while doing standouts recently in Halifax Center, one person came up to me and said, "Jonathan, you're too nice to be a selectman." And I gotta be honest with you, that one kind of floored me a little bit. I do plan on being a selectman that is decent, compassionate, and empathetic. It's just how I am, and to be anything else would be disingenuous. But, in my opinion, good leadership doesn't have to be cold or callous. It is possible to say no, disagree with someone, and still shake their hand and treat them with decency and respect. Halifax's biggest strength is its people, and when we put our heads together, there isn't much we can't do. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this video, and on May 14th, I ask for your vote to make the best town around even better. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gordon C. Andrews, and I'm running for re-election to the Halifax Board of Selectmen. I grew up in town, and I live with my wife Colleen and my daughter Caitlin. I'm proud of the time I have spent volunteering for our community, from coaching girls basketball, soccer and softball, to serving on the many boards and committees. I was first appointed to the Finance Committee in 2010, and I served as chairman from 2013 until 2018. In 2018, I was elected to both the Silver Lake Regional School Committee and the Halifax Elementary School Committee. In 2019, I was elected to the Board of Selectmen, and I was written in to continue to serve on the Halifax Elementary School Committee for 3-year terms. I have been a strong, vocal advocate against unsustainable budget increases. I ask tough questions, and I seek accountability from our department heads. I speak at public budget hearings about how decisions being made will affect the short and long-term financial conditions of our town and the services that we can provide. I have the knowledge of our budget process and the experience of negotiating with our public unions to ensure the validity of our contracts. During the pandemic, I led a group of individuals to hand out free food at the school to families in need. After the school took over the responsibility of providing meals, I continued to volunteer to assist those in need. I advocated to spend CARES Act funding to increase the teacher staffing to ensure that our students had the best hybrid learning system available. I worked with our first responders to ensure school staff had priority access to vaccines and ensured a testing program was available to our entire workforce. I think creatively and offer out-of-the-box solutions for many of the issues facing our town, particularly in regards to the budget. Just this year, I worked cohesively across various departments to fund the unexpected special needs transportation deficit that the town faced. I'm proud to say that I chaired the Building and Facility Needs Committee that is currently presenting a desperately needed senior center and found funding for this project without increasing the tax burden. This will be an asset for our entire community. I'm asking for your vote for the 3-year Board of Selectmen position on May 14th. Election is from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Halifax Elementary School Gymnasium. Thank you.